Okay, Islam Dwayne Beye and my higher self. It is February the 2nd, 2019. This is Saturday, February the 2nd, 2019. I'm Rhonda Arrington-Bey, Islam, and I am about to read the Holy Quran, Circle 7, Chapter 38. I'm starting off with Chapter 38. It's called The Soul of a Man. The blessing, O man, of thy external part is health, vigor, and proportion. The greatest of these is health. What health is to the body, even that is honesty to the soul. That thou hast a soul is of all knowledge, the most certain of all truths, the most plain unto thee. Be meek, be grateful for it. Seek not to know it perfectly. It is inscrutable. Thinking, understanding, reasoning, willing, call not these the soul. They are its actions, but they are not its essence. Raise it not too high, that thou be not despised. Be not thou like unto those who fall by climbing. Neither debase it to the sense of brutes, nor be thou like to the horse and the mule, in whom there is no understanding. Search it by its faculties, know it by its virtues. They are more in number than the hairs of thy head. The stars of heaven are not to be counted with them. Think not with Arabia that one soul is parted among all men. Neither believe thou with the sons of Egypt, that every man have many. Know that as thy heart, so also thy soul is one. Doth not the sun harden the clay? Doth is not also soften the wax? As it is one sun that work both, even so it is one soul with contraries. As the moon retain her nature, thou darkness spread itself before her face as a curtain. So the soul remained perfect, even in the bosom of a fool. She is immortal, she is unchangeable, she is alike in all. Health call her forth to show her loveliness. An application anoint her with the oil of wisdom. Although she shall live after thee, think not she was born before thee. She was created with thy flesh and formed with thy brain. Justice could not give her to thee exalted by virtues, nor mercy deliver her to thee deformed by vices. These must be thine, and thou must answer for them. Suppose not death can shield thee from  Think not corruption can hide thee from inquiry. He who formed thee of thou knowest not what? Can he not raise thee from thou knowest not what again? Perceive not the cock the hour of midnight? Exalt he not his voice to tell thee it is morning? Knoweth not the dog the footsteps of his master? Flieth not the wounded goat unto the herb that heal him? Yet when these die, their spirit return to dust. Thine alone survive. Envy not to these their senses, because quicker than thy own. Learn that the advantage lieth not in possessing good things, but in the knowing to use them. Hast thou the ear of the stag, or were thy eyes as strong and piercing as the eagle's? Didst thou equal the hound in smell, or could the ape resign to thee his taste? Or could the tortoise her feeling? Yet without reason, what would they avail thee? Perish not all these like their kindred? Hath any one of them the gift of speech? Can any say unto thee, therefore did I do? The lips of the wise are the doors of a cabinet. No sooner are they open, but treasures are poured out before thee. Like unto trees of gold arranged in beds of silver are wise sentences uttered in due season. Canst thou think too greatly of thy soul, or can too much be said in its praise? It is the image of him who gave it. Remember thou its dignity forever. Forget not how great a talent is committed to thy charge. Whatsoever may do good may also do harm. Beware that thou direct its course to virtue. Think not that thou canst lose her in a crowd. Suppose not that thou canst bury her in thy closet. Action is her delight, and she will not be withheld from it. Her motion is perpetual. Her attempts are universal. Her agility is not to be suppressed. Is it at the uttermost part of the earth, she will have it. Is it beyond the regions of the stars, yet will her eye discover it. Inquiry is her delight. As one who traverses the burning sands in search of water, so is the soul that thirsts after knowledge. Guard her, for she is rash. Restrain her, for she is irregular. Correct her, for she is outrageous. More supple is she than water, more flexible than wax, more yielding than air. Is there aught that can bind her? As a sword in the hand of a madman, even so is the soul to him who want discretion. To end her search is truth. No, the end of her search is truth. Her means to discover it are reason and experience. But are not these weak, uncertain, and fallacious? How then shall she attain unto it? General opinion is not proof of truth. For the generality of men are ignorant. Perception of thyself, the knowledge of him who created thee, the sense of worship thou owest unto him. Are not these plain before thy face? And behold, what is there more that man needed to know? Islam. This is February the 2nd, 2019. Now I'm going to read chapter 9 of the Holy Quran Circle 7. That was chapter 38, the soul of a man. Okay. Okay, this is called Jesus attend a feast in Beye, and here he taught equality. The fame of Jesus as a teacher spread through all the land, and people came from near and far to hear his words of truth. At Beye, or Bahar, on the sacred river of the Brahms, he taught for many days. And Arch, a wealthy man of Bahar, made a feast in honor of his guest, and he invited everyone to come. And many came, among them thieves, extortioners, and courtesans. And Jesus sat with them and taught. But they who followed him were much aggrieved, because he sat with thieves and courtesans. And they upbraided him. They said, Rabboni, master of the wise, this day will be an evil day for you. The news was spread that you consort with courtesans, and men will shun you as they shun an asp. And Jesus answered them and said, a master never screens himself for the sake of reputation or of fame. These are but worthless bubbles of the day. They arise and sink like empty bottles on a stream. They are illusions and will pass away. They are the indices to what the thoughtless think. They are noise that people make, and shallow men judge merit by the noise. Allah and all master men judge men by what they are and not what they seem to be, not by their reputation and their fame. These courtesans and thieves are children of my Father, Allah. Their souls are just as precious in his sight as yours or of the Brahmin priests. And they are working out the same life sums that you have solved. you men who look at them with scorn. And some of them have solved much harder than you have solved, you men who look at them with scorn. Yes, they are sinners and confess their guilt, while you are guilty, but are shrewd enough to have a polished coat to cover up your guilt. Suppose you men who scorn the courtesans, these drunkards, and these thieves, who know that you are pure in heart and life, that you are better far than they, stand forth that men may know just who you are. The sin lies in the wish, in the desire, not in the act. You covet other people's wealth. You look at charming forms, and deep within your heart you lust for them. Deceit you practice every day, and wish for gold, for honor, and for fame, just for your selfish selves. The man who covets is a thief, and she who lusts is a courtesan. You who are none of these, speak out. Nobody spoke. The accusers held their peace. And Jesus said, the proof this day is all against those who have accused. The pure in heart do not accuse. The vile in heart, who want to cover up their guilt with holy smoke of piety, are never loathing drunkards, thieves, and courtesans. This loathing and this scorn is mockery. For if the chiseled coat of reputation could be torn away, the loud professor would be found to reveal in his lust, deceit, and many forms of secret sin. The man who spends his time in pulling other people's weeds can have no time in pulling his own, and all the choicest flowers of life will be choked and die, and nothing will remain but darnel, thistles, and burrs. And Jesus spoke a parable. He said, behold, a farmer had great fields of ripened grain. And when he looked, he saw that blades of many stalks of wheat were bent and broken down. And when he sent his weepers forth, he said, we will not save the stalks of wheat that have the broken blades. Go forth and cut and burn the stalks with broken blades. And after many days, let me say that again, and go forth and cut and burn the stalks with broken blades. And after many days he went to measure up his grain, but not a kernel could he find. And then he called the harvesters and said to them, where is my grain? They answered him and said, we did according to your word. We gathered up and burnt the stalks with broken blades, and not a stalk was left to carry to the barn. And Jesus said, if Allah save only those who have unbroken blades, who have been perfected in his sight, who will be saved? And the accusers hung their heads in shame, and Jesus went his way. Islam, okay? So that's 19 minutes. Okay, Islam is February the 2nd, actually I'm going to go ahead and read the next chapter. of the Holy Bible. No, actually, I'll wait. It is February the 2nd, 2019, Islam.